Brits World Videos. We're at Playa de Cura, Costa Blanca with the latest news. Yeah, it's 9:30 Saturday morning, and we've got some really sad news today about a driver that got killed yesterday, and of course we've got bad news as well for Ryanair, and some good news about the banks if you've been frauded. So yeah, we've got all the latest news on the Costa Blanca. Yeah, tragedy struck yesterday, Friday morning, on the Costa Blanca when a truck carrying flammable hazardous materials ended up exploding inside the AP7, which is just going into Murcia on the border of Pilar de Llorada there on the Costa Blanca. And yeah, really bad, and the smoke and fire could be seen for a long way, as you can see in this video here. And yeah, the tunnel had to be closed off for hours, and all the rescue services were there pretty quick on the scene. And they've actually been doing quite a lot of work on this tunnel recently as well. At 4.4 million been invested on these tunnels to improve the lighting, the safety, and all this kind of material in case things like this happen. Unfortunately for this truck driver, he actually died on the scene, even though they tried to do their best to save him. But yeah, burnt to death. What a way to go, eh? Bloody hell. Basically just driving along, minding his own business, and one of these tyres actually burst, and it caused this fire and the explosion in seconds. The fire services, paramedics, all rushing to the scene within minutes, but they declared the driver dead at the scene. Because say it was burnt, and there was nothing they can actually do to this poor fella. And I know recently, every time you go up through that tunnel, they're always doing maintenance work. So they was just installing this LED lights as well as other kind of safety stuff they were putting in. But of course, they ain't going to be able to save this poor bloke. It's like installing all this hydraulic kind of ventilation systems and all kind of automatic fire detection stuff. But yeah, nothing could be done. It was actually happening in seconds. And just driving along, mind your own business, bang, burst tyre. But the key to this thing is he was carrying hazardous goods. And it makes you wonder whether anything else could have been done to stop this happening in the future. So yeah, it was a bit of a tragic news. And I'll tell you what, we have got a bit of news for. It's good news for a passenger, but bad news for Ryanair. Because the old court orders a passenger their money back, basically, for the old hand luggage charge on 5 flights they'd used. And what the judge says is considered that it's an indispensable element of passenger transportation, obviously charging someone a price supplement to take their luggage on the plane. Mr. Leary there, Ryanair, is going to have to reimburse his passengers a total of €147. I'm sure that ain't going to break the bank. This was just the flights she took back in 2019 up to 2014. So yeah, finally got the call, and the total cost she actually lost was €147. So she got that back, and it was apparently a court in Salamanca that the judge ruled that hand luggage shouldn't be an element of passengers transport. They shouldn't be forced to pay this extra money, really. And basically the complaint went through to the consumer organisation, which is called cura, and yeah, apparently won the case. 5 rulings in her favour. Also, another airline as well got done as well, Welling. So yeah, a few have been tapped up for this, as you know. There was a big, massive fine lashed out not long ago about these airlines and hand luggage, and against European rules and rights and all that stuff. And they got a big hefty fine. And yeah, €179 million worth, all 5 of these airlines, about hand luggage. Saying this kind of issue is more complicated than what it actually is. And so yeah, they're saying rulings have gone both ways. And it was on Thursday, the 8th of May, Ryanair published a note, and several stating that in a Seville court has confirmed that its hand luggage policy, which allows passengers to carry on between 40 times 25 times 20 centimetre suitcases, so yeah, of course they're standard size, and it's suitable under the seat completely free of charge, with the option, of course, to add additional luggage for an optional fee if they wish to, legal. Yeah, I can say it's been an ongoing problem since November 2024, where they've been up in arms about these fines rated up to this 179 million. And yeah, he's still kicking off O'Leary, and he's also demanding that a surcharge for the reservation of the seats in the case of minors as well. So that's what he was doing, and the law stated that any minors should be kept with their parents. They shouldn't be forced to pay to be separated. It should automatically be put together. Of course, he was charging for special seats. So yeah, this is why they got this big fine, and certain other things as well to do with boarding passes and all these like not proper practices that are actually supposed to be enforced by the European Union, like having to print off boarding passes and charging. So yeah, they got that big fine, and he's still bleeping about it, of course, old Ryanair. But we do use them because they're cheap. Can't knock the old company. But of course, the more fines get dished out and the more rules, it's only going to put the price up for all of us. Mr. Leary says he has the law in his favour. He says basically the Spanish Airline Association is that charging around luggage is legal because it is in EU regulations from 1008 to 2008. So yeah, it's down and it's there in the old rules, and he says it's a little bit complicated, but he's repeatedly said that the ruling justifies itself. So, and yeah, our Salamanca judge has used the rule against the airline, O'Leary says, from what it says in the 2014 rule of the European Court. Well, there we go. I suppose we're going to hear more about this. O'Leary says it's because of the old Franco law that he brought in. It's cost him 107 million euros. And Ryan O'Leary says the Spanish government, what they're doing is actually illegal, and it's cost him this big fine already of 107 million. And yeah, he said it ain't justified. Just saying that it was based on this misinterpretation of outdated legalisation during the old Spanish Francisco era. Ryanair claimed the fines rely on a 1960 law that contradicts the old current European legislation. So that's what he's up in arms about. So yeah, always going to be happening, isn't it, eh? And just like I said, he says if they keep enforcing these fines, it means we're going to be paying more for our ticket prices. And last year was 7.3 million people, so he's making loads of money. But of course, it ain't just his airline that's getting affected. Others like EasyJet and all the other low-cost Valletta and Vueling and all these other cheap airlines, they're all going to be caught up with this rigmarole. I mean, you know, we all get the cheap flights, so you can get on a flight for 12 euros or 9.99, then you need an hand luggage, it comes like 80 quid. And this is what it's all about. So yeah, in case they keep reducing the suitcase sizes, and then you go on another company like EasyJet and they've got different size. I do hear reports that they're actually going to try and bring in one size only for airlines and luggage, so you don't have to carry all these different suitcases in your house, all for different airlines. I mean, we've seen plenty of videos where people couldn't get their suitcase, little hand luggage in the old box set to fit the size, and he's breaking all his wheels off and everything to make sure it fits in the right size without paying a penalty. So it is crazy, all these different sizes. It's right, they should have one size for all, so everyone knows where they are without getting ripped off at the plane when you're about to board. So yeah, morning time here in Spain on the Costa Blanca, and the beaches have been raked already. A couple of people out and about, trying to get a little tan, no doubt holiday makers. And yeah, a little bit of sun breaking through clouds. And we're expecting about 23 today and tomorrow. But temperatures are all up and down, as you know. And the other day, it was horrendous. This flying storm come flying through on Thursday. High weather alerts, orange and yellow all over the place. But Murcia actually got snow. And yeah, pretty bad as well. Affected a lot of towns, and yeah, dozens of weather-related accidents. And apparently that side of Murcia, they've actually still got weather warnings in place. Yeah, caused a lot of problems as well, up to 10 centimetres in some places of snow and rain, litres galore. 46.6 square metres were dropped as well. This is all the other side of Murcia, all different areas of Spain. Some areas got 30 litres of rain. It's not normal for this time of year. These little storms keep popping in and popping out, and then the next day it turns out beautiful. They're saying there was another tragic incident as well that happened last week, and it was a migrant boat just up the other side of Alicante, about 42 miles off the coast. They had to be rescued, 16 people on it, but there was one that's actually deceased on the boat. It was actually Spanish maritime rescue people that actually located the boat, come up on one of their radars of where they were doing surveillance, and they pulled them in because they see it going adrift. But these migrants were coming from Sahara, Africa, and had been deported from Algeria and had been adrift apparently for about 6 or 7 days. Of course, that was caused dehydration and everything, and ended up one of these people dying on the boat. So the 15 survivors that were still alive, of course, were rescued and brought to the port of Alicante, and they were put in a temporary attention centre, which they have for the foreigners. So yeah, not only England getting problems with people coming across on boats, we get it here as well. Got some good news. If you've been defrauded by these scammers out there, the banks, yeah, there's a new ruling which is pretty good, so you get your money back. Supreme Court here in Spain has said that the banks must pay up in favour of the fraud victims, and unless, of course, there have been negligence of what they've done, and then they might have a little say in it. But other than that, if they've been frauded and they couldn't do nothing about it and they've done all by the rules, the old banks are going to be made to pay all that money back. And they're saying the banks can no longer dodge the responsibility when the customer falls victims to any of these online scams. And they're saying it's a landmark ruling here in Spain. Well, it's going to help a lot of people out. Of course, there's loads of scams, and the latest one is the old blackout, the outage we had here the other week. And they're actually getting emails saying you can claim from the Spanish government and get some money back. So yeah, people are vulnerable, and some people will take it as a genuine email because, as you know, where there's blame, there's a claim. So yeah, the court has ruled, this big Supreme Court has confirmed that financial institutions are liable for unauthorised transactions as long as the customer wasn't negligent and it actually had been reporting all the suspicious activity straight away. This big decision was from the Civil Division of the High Court, came after there's a bank, Ibercaja Banco, and they was appealing a previous ruling that ordered them to compensate a customer who had lost tens of thousands of euros down to a kind of SIM swap scam. The court dismissed the bank's appeal and actually took sides of the victim that actually got scammed. From someone in Saragossa, 84,000 euros he got scammed for, and it was just through a load of transactions that were going through his bank. So the bank tried to get out of it, but no, the actual Supreme Court ruled in his favour. So yeah, thank goodness for that. That must be so stressful. 84 grand, that's out of your bank. Mind you, some people like to have 84 grand in their bank to start with. And he was pretty innocent to it all because all the money was taken out early in the morning as well. They somehow duplicated his SIM card that was registered with a victim's wife who lived in Murcia, and got access to the bank account, and of course started clearing it all out and transferring money all over the place. Even though the bank tried to appeal it and get off with it, they got 27 grand back anyway, even though they're still trying to find out where the 56 other grand remaining is. But they got, near enough a good chunk of it back. But yeah, they didn't get away with it, and it's good news for the scam victims now. At least we've got a leg to stand on. The court actually laid into the banks saying, why didn't they do something when all these unusual transfers were going on? And he should have been monitoring it and sorted it out straight away, especially the amount of transfers being done. And I know most banks now, if you're making certain transfers, they do ask if it's you that's making it, and all things like that. You get text messages. So yeah, it's strange they let all this amount of money going out of his bank so quick. Oh, they're saying now with this big judgment that's just happened, it's going to be making major implications for the future with all these fraudulent claims going on, scams all over the place, as you know, sophisticated ones as well. So yeah, customers have got a bit more protection where they never had it before. So that is a big good news. And so yeah, that is the latest news. Yeah, poor bloke, 1 minute he was here, 1 minute he'd gone, just going through a tunnel, minding your own business, doing your job, and then he got burnt to death. And Ryanair still up in arms about all these fines, and actually a passenger winning a court case, getting ripped off with the whole hand luggage. Of course, there's always more to the story and what they tell you. And yeah, and the bank's great news, isn't it? You get when you're frauded and you're enough stress as it is, you get money taken out. But if you can get your money back, even better. And the other news is, of course, the weather. It's been a crazy year here in Spain. We've had proper yo-yo weather every day. Couple of days drop in temperature. Mind you, 22, 23, we can live with that. But then all of a sudden we're back up to 30 again, breaking records. But yeah, just hope it's all going to settle down now. But there is some good news because the whole big project here, it looks like they're put a few more bricks down. So there we go, yeah. It's slowly, catch a monkey. It's coming along, isn't it, eh? So that is today's news on the Costa Blanca, and if you've missed any other news, you can check up there at the top there and you'll see all the latest news. Thanks as well for all the super thanks and the coffees, and also for the people that have joined the channel. Really appreciate the support. Meanwhile, you need to check up here and we've got more of the latest news.